Before we begin our discussion today, I would like to ask my audience two questions. And that is, have you grew up in a home with at least one parent that used tobacco products? Or have you yourself used tobacco products in the past or are currently using tobacco products today? I'm sure that you've noticed that there's an increase in public awareness about smoking and other tobacco-related products. In fact, in 2009, the state of Ohio enforced a smoking ban, which prohibits smoking in all public restaurants and bar facilities. Or if you followed the news, you might have heard 2 weeks ago that the FDA announced that it would be enforcing stricter guidelines for these tobacco products when advertising the detrimental effects of their products. In fact, here are some of the few pictures that you might expect to see on some of the new labelings. You can expect to see graphic images covering over 70% of the cigarette package by April 2014. All of these steps to increase public awareness are too late for my aunt, who was a YSU graduate and worked as a registered nurse. She had quit smoking 7 years prior to her stage 4 lung cancer diagnosis. She underwent chemotherapy and radiation, however, she lost her life that very same year. So, while smoking is not uncommon, it is highly advised against. My name is Naomi Harding, and today I plan to convince you to never start or stop using tobacco products entirely. While tobacco products carry no health benefits, people still continue to use these products. Probably because they're sold over the counter and they don't think that they're that harmful. But according to Randall, as early as 1 BC, American Indians began using tobacco products for what they believed had medicinal properties. But it wasn't until 1826 that the pure form of nicotine was discovered. And it was then concluded by scientists that, hey, this stuff has no medicinal, benefits. In fact, it's a very highly toxic substance. So it wasn't until 1950 that tobacco was correlated to causing cancer. And soon after, it was found that all tobacco-related products do pose the risk of causing cancer. So if you think back to 1826 to 1950, what happened? Well, as Americans, we know that we had 3 wars. And the soldiers were the majority of people consuming these tobacco products. So within this time frame, after 1950, it is seen that men are accounting for the majority of diagnosed lung cancers. And according to the global cancer statistics, it is now recently seen that women are starting to occur more diagnosed lung cancers per year than they are breast cancer, which is very significant. And you have to think, if that's happening to women, what are the effects that it's having on their children? Well, it's been correlated that smoking while pregnant causes low birth rate in the child, as well as increased risk of SIDS, which is sudden infant death syndrome, and basically it's like respiratory depression of the infant, and it's fatal. It causes them to stop breathing. And secondhand smoke affects children differently. You have to think that they are limited to their motor capabilities. So if you have an infant in a smoke-filled room, maybe they can't walk away, or if you have a child, that's under the age of 10 and they don't realize, that this is bad for my health and they can't leave that environment, it is now seen that children of smoke-filled homes are more apt to develop asthma. So how do we avoid all of this? Well, you need to quit. You need to quit smoking, and not when your friends quit, not when, you graduate, not when it doesn't affect your health, not when you start a family. You need to quit now. So start preparing. And when I say start, S-T-A-R-T. S stands for set a date. And just a little FYI, May 31st is going to be the National Smokeout, and that's going to be where people globally quit smoking. So if you're considering quitting smoking, perhaps May 31st would be a good day to start. T stands for tell your family and friends. Anticipate that you're going to have a struggle. It's not going to be easy. Remove all of the tobacco-related products from your home, your car, your work, any environment in which that you might be apt to pick the habit back up. And lastly, talk to a doctor. If you can't do it on your own and you're having trouble doing so, talk to a doctor and see if they can't help you. So if you say, okay, I've done all that and I've tried and I've quit smoking for a week but I've picked it back up, well, you need to stay on the bandwagon. So in order to stay on the bandwagon, Don't think that you could be a social smoker and go out with your friends and, on a Friday night pick up a cigarette because it's been 2 months. If you had an addiction to cigarettes, you're more apt to always have an addiction to cigarettes. So fight the urge. If you find that, you're having a really bad craving for nicotine, go for a walk, go outside, call a friend, do something proactive. Join a support group. Maybe you're not getting enough support from family and friends, so you'd like to talk to other people. The government has imposed a hotline, which is 1-800-QUIT-NOW, and it's available 24 hours to help people that are choosing to quit smoking. So after a couple weeks of success, you need to reward yourself. Keep yourself positive-minded and realize that you're working on a goal towards success. Quitting is possible. With a little willpower, consistency, and dedication and patience, you too can be a success in quitting. Imagine life once you're smoke-free. You're going to have a healthier lifestyle. You're going to decrease your risk of developing the diseases associated with using these tobacco products, as well as decreasing your pregnancy risks and increasing the health of not only yourself, but all of those people in which that are around you and your children. Not to mention, at $5 and some cents a pack of cigarettes, your pocketbook is going to, greatly increase, which is a very great added benefit. So, due to the public awareness that we spoke about earlier, smoking is becoming more of a social stigma. Like we said, we can't smoke in restaurants or bars or other public settings, and even some workplaces won't hire, people that use tobacco-related products. So think about how you're going to be more socially accepted once you quit. You're going to have better breath. Your clothes, your hair is going to smell better. You're not going to smell like a stale ashtray, as well as your car and your home aren't going to smell as bad. And you're not going to leave a negative impression on, impressionable children that see you smoking, that you don't want your kids to grow up doing the same habits that you're having. So I hope I've convinced you today that there's really no need to start using or continue using tobacco products, because no tobacco product is safe. And if you want to learn more about cancer, keep smoking. Otherwise, be prepared to quit. Don't wait until it's too late. Start taking action now, because cancer from smoking is not a question of if, it's a question of when. It was too late for my aunt, but it might not be too late for you. Thank you for watching.